Hi, Roastbrief community. Today we have an incredible honor to talk to Candace Green and Tom Findon. They are part of Supernova, that is part also of Atomic London. And how are you guys? How do you feel today? And first of all, as I told you before, it's an incredible pleasure to be here with you and talk about your new appointment as creative director, Candace. Congratulations.
No, thank you for having us, Aaron. Good to speak to you.
Incredible. Well, to start with this interview, Candace, I would like to ask you what excited you most about joining Supernova and how do you envision shaping its creative direction?
So what really excited me the most, to be honest, firstly, meeting the guys in my interviews, it was straight away a hit. We all got on really well. And I think I was really passionate about everything the agency was trying to do in terms of redefining how brands show up on social and just taking it all a bit more seriously in the social space. In our interview, we talked a lot about the work that Supernova's been doing to connect creativity with effectiveness. And really, for me, that really stood out as something I want to do, because I think if we start taking the work more seriously and the channels more seriously, it allows essentially brands to think about it as a real player for them and the change it can have on their audience and the behavior change that it can achieve. I think that for us, it's really going to change the game in the advertising industry when brands start spending a lot more in social and just thinking about how they can measure the results. And I think in terms of the reputation that I want to build, and something that I think is really exciting, is to kind of help brands feel less like advertisers and more like participants in culture. So that means tapping into emerging subcultures, building long-term communities rather than chasing short-term reach, creating experiences, thinking of things that live off screen in the real world that become social content because people are actually enjoying them and spending time with them, as well as actually campaigns that kind of blur the lines between content, entertainment. And I want us to become a bit famous for that. As an agency, when people go Supernova, they don't just go, they just do standard social content, but they've built that thing that everyone's talking about, or that experience that everyone's been to, and just really be an agency that actually changes the behavior of the audience, not just create content that people just stop and quickly look at.
Totally. And well, you have an incredible background behind you, because you started being art director, and after that you created your incredible professional career. And obviously that is totally correct. Change the world, change the things. Think out of the box, and that is what I would like to ask you, Tom. For Supernova, has experience rapidly grown since its launch in 2023, as we know, and what have been the biggest melons so far, and how does Candace's appointment align with your agency in this next phase?
So Supernova was born out of a massive frustration of brands not necessarily measuring true impact of creativity.
Okay.
And I think increasingly the milestones are threefold. One is July last year, social media became the #1 advertising medium in the world. More money is spent in social media than in any other channel. Historically, that was the printing press, newspapers, TV, search, and now social. So I don't think that's going to change. And as a result, I think it's a bit of a wake-up call to brands taking it a little bit more seriously. But actually, what's also happened in the last 6 months is this idea that actually more and more brands are waking up to the idea that likes, shares, and comments aren't the be-all and end-all of success. And therefore, I think any time a brand wants to turn up and go, how could you do better? We see as a major milestone. And Candy joining us and kind of helping own that end product is monumental for us, because ultimately, you're only as good as your next hire, and the more we can build on that energy and that kind of provocation, the better we'll become. So no, very, very excited.
Incredible. And this is an incredible part, because as we know that social media are now the most important spotlight in our environment and the things that we do. And it's something that we have to have present now, and how to use it right. And well, talking about World Social, that we were talking about it, Candace. You have mentioned the importance of it. Can you elaborate on what is the meaning of and how it differentiates Supernova from other social media creative agencies?
Yeah, 100%. I think that Tom touched on it a little bit there. People are starting to take social more seriously, and we are almost in that like new era of social where it's becoming a really important part of every client's brief. But I don't believe that everyone knows how to play in that space yet. Like there's still a lot of people catching up. And so I think for too long and still in too many places, social is seen as a bit of an executional content place or where people are jumping on trends. And there's not enough focus on strategy and measurement. And so grown up social is all about treating social as a true growth accelerator, not just an add-on. It's audience led, it's about insights, and it's designed to deliver actual impact across the entire funnel from brand building to commercial results. And I think that's really important because it helps our clients and brands justify that spend in the right way. And I think what differentiates Supernova and helps us kind of stand out in the market is that how we embrace that mindset, combining that kind of social strategy with platform native creativity. So really kind of using traditional creativity, but thinking about how it works for the platform specifically, not just, an idea that you just kind of repurpose across channels, but actually thinking about how it taps into that strategy and is going to work for the audience on that channel and the way they're behaving. And so, yeah, I think ultimately it's about not chasing those vanity metrics, like Tom said, and actually shifting that perception of changing behavior and that measurable outcome. And that's really what makes it grown up social.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's important to know how to use all the challenges that you have, the challenge that you have, and also have a creative strategy that is an important part, is the base of everything. And also the insight, you have to know how the whole people is thinking. And it's really important to be part of your strategy, totally. And also, talking about balancing creativity and business impact, I would like to asking you, how does Supernova ensure that its campaigns are not only culturally relevant, but also drive tangible business result for brands? Can you share something with us?
The most important word we used from day one was no. We take enormous pride in making sure that we do the right brief as opposed to the client brief.
Okay.
And sometimes that's educational, and sometimes that's actually just helping reframe the problem. But more importantly, it's actually about setting the expectation to something that's worthwhile. We see very little kind of correlation between likes, shares, and comments and business growth, whereas actually looking at communities, engagement, view-through rates, kind of lead gen or click leads allow us to get to a much more quantifiable value. But I think the bit that for us we're most proud of is the fact that we are not chasing perfection. And I think the sooner clients wake up to it being a compound creative impact as opposed to a 6-week turn on, turn off, you actually get much, much more interesting work long term. So building up a brand strategy that's actually executable as opposed to chasing executions as a brand. Two very different mindsets. But by putting those guardrails from the very beginning and realizing that the opportunity is bigger than just saying yes for the sake of it, that's for us. We want partners who want what we want, which is great work and grown-up creativity.
Incredible. And talking about creative economy, that it's an important thing that we're gonna talk today. Can you share with us key trends? Can you share, Candace and Tom, key trends both of you see shaping the future of social first marketing?
You go.
Yeah, so I think there's two that I wanted to touch on. One being social production, and I think that's really changing as the space is developing in all the ways that we've talked about so far. I think we're definitely seeing a move towards better produced content on social. As much as like lo-fi's got its place, people are now more than ever consuming social as entertainment, which means we're seeing a lot more long form content. For example, we're actually working with one of our own talent, Chip Shop Diva, to create a long form entertainment series. And these longer form series offer so many new opportunities in terms of commercial partnerships, and I think that's a really exciting space to play in. Okay. I also think, we've got a siren. We're also, and something I love doing when I work with talent is seeing more of a combined approach to production. So still letting talent shoot the content, understanding it's their tone of voice, it's their audience that they've built up, but actually elevating that content with a bit more art direction, a bit more brand identity, and helping drive the brand recognition in terms of the way that we've talked about measuring more. And then the other trend I just wanted to touch on was social commerce, and actually how that's changing as well. Like, that's a massive trend. People have been talking about it for ages. But I think now when you combine that with the creator economy and think about how the authenticity of creators starts to make it feel like recommendations from friends, like that's almost like unbeatable sales tactics. Like, it almost just feels like UGC content, like a friend recommending a product. And I think there's a lot of commercial opportunities there for brands to get involved with social commerce, but with creators.
Amazing. Tom, something?
Candy stole one of mine, so I'm going to... No, it's fine. There are so many elements to how brands present themselves that I think go unloved. And one of the things in the Atomic Group we spend quite a lot of time talking about are brand building blocks. What are the consistent mainstays that make you you? It could be your color, your font, your mascot, your icon, whatever it may be. But I think in social, there's almost an inversion to that, where it feels like the more rules you create, the less opportunity there is. But I do think the one interesting space that I would love to see a brand fully tap into is the sonic branding. How do we sound? If music is such a key motivating factor behind TikTok discovery, the way the algorithms are programmed, the familiarity and tone of our work, sonic branding has to be something that more time and effort should be put into. How do we sound? How does that make you feel? What's that recognizable motif? What is the sign off? How can I participate in the experience of listening to my brand? So that'd be my one.
Oh, it's really important because you give personality for the brand and for people, and also you feel something real when you are with the brand, when you are consuming it, and also when you are creating something that you know that will connect with all people and all the customers, and it's really, really important. And as you know, how to use all the different channels that you can use, and also how to create an important strategy that is really relevant, and to have a solid brand, solid creative strategy, that it's something really cool, and something that it's relevant for you as Supernova, and all of this new part of things that you are creating, canvas in this incredible agency. And well, I would like to ask you guys, with Supernova, talking about Supernova, that it's being part of Atomic London's orbit model. How do you see creative collaboration across different disciplines engaging the agency works?
Shall I go first on this one? For me, what's really exciting about that is that ability to think about how those real-time social insights and behaviors, the way that people are thinking, behaving, interacting on social, but the way that you identify, like, we've talked about audience behavior for a long time, but you can literally see it happening in front of you on social media, the way that you can take that and use it as a starting point across all disciplines, like that, for me, feels really exciting. And so I think, social gives us that direct window into culture, and by collaborating with, for myself, by collaborating with the other creative leaders in the rest of the Atomic orbit, I think we've got a chance to really turn those insights into bigger, more connected ideas that kind of go across every channel.
I also see it from the client perspective as a huge benefit. I think the danger of walking into a massive agency and finding that we do it all means you probably do a good but not necessarily outstanding job. By having the independence of our own autonomy for social specialisms, but being able to lean into the same specialisms, be it health, performance, brand, whatever it may be, you get the best of both worlds. Highly committed in terms of both the execution and the passion for the specialism. But clients clearly get the benefit of just going a three-prodded attack. Like, they don't feel the compromises anywhere in that orbit. So for us, I think it's also allowing us to get to better answers faster. We don't therefore have to apologize for bringing people up to speed. Instead, this is about facing it head on, finding what works, and then divvying out accordingly.
Yes. Incredible, guys. And well, to conclude and finish this incredible conversation, what is next for Supernova? Are there any exciting project for initiative on the horizon that you can share with us? Something new, something, I don't know, relevant, something that you can share with us? I don't know, it could be.
So we've been really fortunate in the last 18 months to kind of start small and then progressively exceed our own expectations. And we were really fortunate at the end of last year to take on an amazing opportunity with a brand who's as brave, if not braver, than we felt at the time. And I think what it's allowed us to do is to start to really test our own products and services. So there is an incredible founder in the UK called Ramona Hazan, who owns a fantastic hummus brand that is moving stratospherically in terms of their sales and distribution, and will no doubt become a global hit. But what this has allowed us to do is to do everything we've talked to you today about. Who are they? Why should we care? How do we show up? How do we sound? And what does that mean for communities? But the most exciting bit in terms of our conversation is the lack of limitation. Here is someone who wholeheartedly goes, if that's what you think works, then how do I turn that into an 11 out of 10? Okay. And that validation of someone coming in and going, great, let's do it your way. Amazing opportunities. That personally would be mine, but I don't know if you've got another.
No, I think the campaign that Tom's talking about and the work we're doing there is really, really exciting. I think, to be honest, like what's coming from us is lots of different things. We've got a group of people that have come together that are so ambitious, and like the energy within the team. Like I've obviously been here a few weeks now, and I already feel like myself kind of being challenged and pushed, and just an exciting energy. So yeah, I think there's lots to come from us coming soon.
Incredible, guys, and that's marvelous, because well, as you say that, Tom, the lack of limitations, it's a little bit complicated, but everything that we talk today, it will be something that will launch everything and will be incredible for this brand. And I don't know if can we know what brand it is, or
they are called Ramona's. It's a huge food brand that's going to go gangbusters later this year. So we'll send you guys a link, and you can judge whether or not we've met the criteria in a couple of weeks' time.
Perfect, guys. Well, incredible. It was a pleasure for us talking to you, and that's it. Thanks so much for your time. And
Thank you, Ari. Appreciate it, buddy.
Well, okay, Roastbrief community, we had an incredible pleasure to talk to Candace Green. And Tom Snyder, creative team, is creative director at Supernova, and Tom Snyder is co-founder. Incredible guy. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Bye.
There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you so much, guys. Incredible. Really appreciate this chance to talk to you. And well, I don't know, it was marvelous. I really enjoyed those kind of conversations. I try to take in it or address it like more like conversation than an interview. But I really appreciate it, guys, and all your insights and point of views.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate your time.
Yeah, for sure. We look forward to seeing it, telling our friends and family to like, share, and comment.
Yeah.
And yeah, appreciate your time.
Yeah, incredible, guys. We will tell you when we publish this interview. I don't know if our side you need something more, or well, I don't know if Sebastian will send you the interview or will notify you. I don't know.
That's okay. You're free reign to do whatever you need to do. That's all good.
Oh, perfect, guys. Well, okay, thanks so much.
Thanks.
And it was a pleasure for me meeting you. I will send you an invitation on LinkedIn.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Ari.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.